Morning. So today we're at 2025 Farm Progress Show. So today we are working with Salford quite a bit, so we're going to be at their booth. Heading there now because I guess I'm going to be running one of the demo tools in the field. I think I go to a driver's meeting, but once we get done with our obligations there, we will take you guys around the show, check out some of the latest and greatest. So if you've never been to Farm Progress Show, it's one of the largest outdoor farm shows in the United States. I think World Ag Expo might be the only one larger. As far as outdoor shows, a lot of the main vendors here for row crop farming. There's a little bit of livestock stuff on the other end, but for the most part, this is a row crop show. So you're going to see all the equipment that is associated with that kind of agriculture. So we've been coming to this show for a good while now, and I don't know, I always like it. This year it's unseasonably cool. Normally it's really hot here. I had to buy a hoodie yesterday. That should make for a nice turnout. I know one thing we will be checking out today will be the Horsch sprayer. Now we did demo one of those about a month ago, but the one we demoed was a 2023 model because, well, that's what we were able to get a hold of. That's a 2026, has a few changes. So I know we'll be checking it out, as well as this 90-foot Horsch planter. I want to check it out, pretty neat. Just kind of in here last night looking over a few things, and there's some interesting stuff on it. We'll check it out later. So over at the Titan booth, they've got Welker's new Big Bud. It's like it's already the star of the show. It's only 8:30 in the morning. Might have to check that out when the crowd dies down. This is some pretty bougie treatment here.
That's right.
The common folk have to walk here.
Grow a mustache like that.
So, you know, I had to hold my own bag. I didn't quite like that, but.
All right, I feel very safe now for the drivers in the drivers meeting. I feel like I'm prepared to operate, but well, I've got a little bit of time. Let's see if I can grab someone at Horsch and get some information on a planter. Well, it didn't take long to find Dad. He's keeping that sprayer company, it would appear. Come on, we don't have money. Get away. Come on, get away. So this is Horsch's new 90-foot planter. It's a 20-inch planter, but as you can see, it has quite a bit of flex. This planter is actually a customer's machine. I don't know if they have many of these in existence yet. I was talking to him yesterday, and he seemed very impressed with the machine after, I think he said it has 10,000 acres on it, or 13, somewhere in there. But the real neat thing is up here. I think it said 320 units of seed.
Hey, put those two boys on your channel. You want to be on Brian's channel?
They're in there.
Here, you better smile for Brian. He's going to put you on his YouTube channel. Hi, Brian. I don't know.
But so, yeah, Alabama.
Buildings up out here.
So I'm here with Rob from Horsch, and Rob, one thing I was noticing was this planter looks a lot different than the traditional Maestro I'm used to seeing, or an Avatar. Do you mind telling us a little bit about what we're looking at here? It almost looks like a top fuel dragster or something.
Absolutely, and yeah, it does look a lot like a top fuel dragster. The core concepts of the Maestro 5420SX, although they look a little different, are largely the same. We tried to keep that consistency as we went from one model to the other. And I'd really call out our chassis design. The chassis design of carrying the load and then in the field transferring that weight to the toolbar and bridging that between the tractor and the toolbar is something you'll see consistent on our 40-foot Maestros, our 60-foot Maestros, our Avatars, and we've kept that consistent with the 5420SX as well. So carry a large load, a lot of capacity to cover a lot of acres, but at the same time going across the field, carrying that load correctly and utilizing that weight where we can use it at the row unit.
Okay, so 5420, what does that come out to in feet?
5420, so it's 54 rows,
Yep.
20-inch spacing, which makes a 90-foot bar.
Okay, is this your largest offering then?
This is our largest offering in the Maestro line.
Okay. All right. Well, will this be available on a 30-inch spacing too then eventually?
This will also be available in a 30-inch spacing, and the bar will be available both in an 80-foot width and the 90-foot width.
Okay.
So if you look at the configurations, 5420 or a 36-row 30-inch, and then on the 80-foot configuration, you'd be at a 32-row 30-inch or a 48-row 20-inch.
Yeah. One thing I was noticing about the bar, there's just a lot of flexibility in this particular bar. Is there anything different as far as the flexing points on it, or is that just because it's so long and maybe it's flexing a lot more because of the length of the bar?
The main difference is we've got more flex points.
Okay.
On a 60-foot, 24-row 30, 36-row 20 Maestro as comparison, we'd have 4 flex points or a 4-section frame. On a 90-foot bar or an 80-foot bar, we have 6 flex points for a 6-section frame.
Okay. One other thing I'm noticing, I mean, I'm used to seeing a planter with a bar going back to the wing like here to kind of stabilize it,
Yep.
but this looks like a little bit different system. I guess, how does that work?
Absolutely. So yes, our draft tube, or the draft tube that would normally be associated with a large frame planter, we all know the challenges of a draft tube. It's always at the wrong height to go over it, and you go under it, bumping your head, scraping your back. Can be a little cumbersome to get in and around. We've replaced the concept of a draft tube with this draft cable. That does a couple of things for us. One, it's hydraulically tensioned, so we always have appropriate tension out to support the wings when in operation. But the big thing is for transport. We don't have to fold around a rigid draft tube. Now we can configure the bar, fold it in, fold it up, and get the planter into a very compact transport envelope.
Okay. Okay. And these tires out here on the wings, those are just support tires then?
Those are our frame tires,
Okay.
our wing tires. So as going through the field, those tires are on the ground, just tracking, stabilizing, and supporting the bar.
And then another thing, when we're on the subject of tires, we have 2 very large, almost look like wagon wheels up front here.
You bet.
What is the purpose of that? Is that taking weight off the front of or the back of the tractor then?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
All around, big challenge with large frame planters is transportability. So just like we talked about folding into that compact package, one thing we've seen is that transporting large frame planters with excessive tongue loads causes additional track wear, accelerated track wear and fatigue, particularly on the rear tracks of a tractor. Going across the field, this tag axle that we have here, it's up and out of the way. So you're going across the field, it's up, out of play.
Oh, so it's not on the ground?
It's not on the ground.
Okay.
It's not on the ground.
So it raises hydraulically?
It raises hydraulically, comes up out of play, going across the field. Go to transport the machine, we lower that tag axle, fold the machine up. Now we're transferring 30% of the tongue load that would be on the front of the machine due to the bar and the chassis all being folded and placed on the front of the machine.
Okay.
So now we're maintaining 70% of that load here on the tag axle, still maintaining 30% of that load on the tongue of the tractor, the drawbar, to maintain a very manageable drawbar load going down the road, greatly extending service life and fatigue on that tractor.
Okay. Do those tires, are they rigid or are they steerable? Or?
They're steerable.
Okay.
It's a steerable axle.
So that maneuverability would be pretty high at that point.
Getting around tight corners,
Yep.
getting in and around tight field approaches, they steer and follow along with the machine.
Have to take a lesson on backing out of the barn though.
You want to back up straight.
Seed capacity, I mean, is this how it's always going to be configured? Can they be configured with a fertilizer option as well? I see we have, looks like 6 seed hoppers.
Yes, for 2026, there'll be seed-only machines.
Okay.
So seed capacity that we're looking at here is 350 bushels. So loaded up, that's approximately 350 to 400 acres of soybeans, depending on what your population is. Corn, you could really plant for a long time if you really wanted
700,
to.
800, 900 acres.
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
so I haven't exactly found that person that wants to just rip the tag and pull the slide on
that much corn,
8 corn seed boxes just yet, but I'm sure they're out there, and we'd love to have conversations with you. Going forward, this will also be offered with liquid fertilizer.
Okay.
When we have liquid fertilizer on it, we will limit some of that seed capacity to make room for the liquid fertilizer. But the thought is that we'll still have enough, we will have enough liquid fertilizer, possibly up to 2,000 gallons, to be able to load up and plant a long time.
Yeah, so you're running out at the same time.
We're running out at the same time. We're going to balance that between the seed capacity and the liquid capacity to get them evened up.
Okay. One other question I was going to have. Now, the SX notation there, that stands for high speed, basically, correct?
The SX is our high-speed system.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you mind talking a little bit about how that particular system works?
Absolutely. And to do that best, we probably should go back to the row unit.
Okay, perfect.
The SX system is our high-speed planting system, and one key component of this is our central fan. The central fan provides the air for our seed delivery, as well as the air to pressurize our meter, as well as our seed tube. So we're controlling all of the air and providing all of the air with one common central fan, really getting it simplified and easy to set up, easy to troubleshoot.
So is that the only fan on the whole planter?
That's the only fan on the whole planter.
And no vacuums?
No vacuum. It's the SX is a positive air system.
Okay. That's going to be a lot different for corn planters for most people.
That's going to be a little different.
Yeah.
On the row unit side, we talked about our central fan. Our central fan is delivering the seed to the row unit. At that time, we also split a stream of air and run it through the toolbar. That stream of air pressurizes the meter. So that handles the singulation, fills the cells and of the disc. From there, we split off a separate stream of air that pressurizes the seed tube. The seed tube on the SX machine looks a lot different than conventional gravity seed tubes. You can see it's round. It's approximately 3/4 of an inch in diameter. In this system with the pressurized seed tube becomes a gun barrel. The seed is singulated off the meter and then placed into that stream of air. In that stream of air, the seed cannot bounce. It takes gravity completely out of the equation. That gives us full control of the seed from the meter to the bottom of the seed trench. No gravity, no bounce, unlocks the capacity and the potential for high-speed planting with no moving parts, no additional electronics, no gearboxes or anything mechanical. High-speed planting with no moving parts in the seed tube.
How important is seed size for that, though? I mean, is there enough tolerance for...
It's a very forgiving system.
Okay.
For most people's corn seed, we'll be dealing with one disc.
Okay.
We do offer discs in a variety of cell sizes. Generally speaking, most folks utilize one.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I appreciate you showing us around the planter. It's a pretty cool looking setup, and answers a lot of questions for me. I appreciate it.
Perfect.
I genuinely like that planter. I think it's a really cool design. It's something interesting. I like the simplicity of it. So I guess if you got a Horsch dealer, I'd advise checking them out. I've been pretty impressed with all the Horsch products that I've been around so far. So if you follow the Welkers, you've seen them working on this tractor. I had to check it out in person. It's quite large. Are you ready to perform?
Yes, I am ready. It's the best part of the show. We get to drive something.
Yeah. Are we going to race?
Well,
are we allowed to go at the same time?
On that, I guess, but we could try.
I think we should.
I think I got a better tractor. Yeah. Okay. But my implement pulls harder.
That was almost like a Dukes of Hazzard hood slide.
She hates being on camera, so just always put it in her face. Ryan.
What?
You got a little tractor.
Story of my life.
Good luck. Make it look good.
Yeah. Thanks for the ride.
Anytime.
Yeah.
I don't understand. This dirt's really black. Like, it looks like the thing's been on fire.
Ooh, it's got the shanks.
Yeah.
You gonna drop those down,
Oh,
Kyle?
yeah. Do you not know what a 2200 is?
It's this.
Yes. So, Chet and I are going to be driving the tillage tractors for the tillage demo. So at Farm Progress, if you look around, there's combines running, there'll be sprayers running, there's spreaders, all sorts of different demos. And people at Salford asked if we would be interested in running them. So yeah, we got to drive some equipment today. So it'll be a good time. I'm going to drive a 340 John Deere. This is definitely the newest Deere piece of equipment I've ever ran.
Make sure to use the massaging seat when you're in there. High 10 out of 10. Just make sure to sit right.
Okay. How did you do that again? So this is the I-2200 Salford. This is what we ran this last spring. And it's 5200. This is something that we ran a couple years ago. I believe Chet and his family run one of these, or one or two of these at their farm. Might take a little while to get used to.
Oh, good plenty of room in here. So you got the AC.
How do I turn the massage seat on?
Inside the armrest.
All right.
Oh yeah, right there.
Hit number 2. Number 2 is the best setting.
I'm on number 2 and ain't doing anything. Oh, never mind. It's doing something to my legs. This is odd. This is uncomfortable. I don't know what's happening. This is weird.
$20, Andy. You remember which one which remotes we gotta hit?
Oh, I'm gonna fold it up midfield.
Perfect. Fold it up, spin it around, it's sold.
So we're gonna do things a little different to get some more publicity and exposure. We're gonna actually do a circle with this thing in the ground halfway through the field.
We're gonna try not to get kicked out so we can go tomorrow. She's pulling. We're doing her though.
Oh yeah. Man, look at that dirt. I need to take that back to Ohio. Looks like the tool is doing a good job though.
I'm sure that residue well.
Yeah. I'm pulling a lot better than I thought it would. So I think it did a really good job on the finish. Really smooth finish behind us. Now the 5200 is definitely not a finish tool. You're turning a lot of dirt with that. But with that 2200, there's heavy fodder. This was just harvested. Fodder's not dried out. I think it looks pretty good back there. When I did my circle, the shanks got ripped off.
I was disappointed in the circle. I was hoping for it. They just said you had to get to the end.
Yeah,
Didn't matter how
you
you
do a
got there.
figure 8 all the way there.
You want to be banned for life from the show.
So we're starting day 2 of the show. Try to take in some of it before we have some obligations again with Salford.
Look at the TV up there.
The monitor. Yeah. So I seen this at Ag PhD Day and I thought it was a Horsch from a distance. Hey. You can have a sprayer or that. So that is a 9S just like the one we used this past spring. So that 9S is still at the farm. It's going to be used this fall on the grain cart, on some tillage and whatnot. But before we do that, we are going to have a review video on our experiences with that tractor. About 100 hours on it, so that should be coming here before harvest.
Apparently the Stiger has one best of show, and they're trying to get the sign on the ground. Having a hard time there.
Yeah.
One of the big things people have been talking about at this show is this quad track from Case that is, well, it's kind of a old school throwback color. This was the color of original Stigers. So I don't know if this is going to be an option or if it's just a show thing. So I'm here with Bill Weber from Case IH, and Bill, I noticed we have a new quad track, the 785, but one of the things that really jumped out to me, and I'm sure everyone that's walked by, is the throwback color of this particular Stiger. Is this just for the show, or is this something that's going to be offered in the Case lineup as far as the color scheme?
It's not going to be offered in the Case lineup. This is a special edition tractor. This is our largest four-wheel drive that we've built, 785 horsepower. It's the first time that we have factory built a quad track in green, because quad track is a Case IH development. But we wanted to pay homage or respect back to the creators of Stiger, the 3 Stiger brothers. So we created this tractor because it's our largest horsepower, most productivity, and Stiger is known for productivity, power to the ground, and innovation, and that's what this tractor represents. So if you noticed right below the door, it's got actually Doug Stiger, who is still alive. His signature underneath the door and everything else, it related to the Stiger family.
Yeah.
They were here yesterday, took a bunch of pictures and everything else. So a lot of respect goes back to the innovation and the leading tractors as far as power to the ground when it comes to four-wheel drive.
Well, I know that the tractor itself is, it's really eye-catching. Really love the respect and the homage you're paying to that. But as far as the 785 aspect of it, is that above the DEF regulation, or does this tractor still have?
This tractor still has DEF. So one of the misnomers is yes, you get above a certain level, kilowatt-wise, that you don't need to meet emissions. Well, we still need to meet certain levels of emissions. The solution set that we have here at Case IH and CNH is we use DEF and we allow the engine to do nothing but produce horsepower. So that's why you see us have a 16-liter engine that's up to 785 horse, because we don't use the engine in trying to recirculate exhaust gases or anything along those lines. So the key factor of that engine is to produce horsepower and put it to the ground.
Okay. That's going to be my next question. Is this the same engine that was in the 715?
Same engine, but there's been changes. So we've updated the pistons, the rods, the injectors. We've also beefed up the transmission to take the extra horsepower. Now that beefing up the transmission is going to go down through the entire line. Okay. And we've also made some changes as far as the gears within the drop box and within the axles themselves. So all of those improvements that we've put into this tractor are also going to get extended down and get shared into the 715 and on down to the 645 and below.
Okay. As far as hydraulic capacity, is it the same as the 715? Or?
It is and it isn't.
Okay.
So the capacity is 118 gallons a minute with dual pumps. We've had in the past a smart torque pump, so one of the dual pumps is smart torque. What that does is that senses the amount of horsepower that we're pulling through the pump, and then it turns around and it gives that horsepower back to the engine to put through the drivetrain as far as from a D-rate perspective. Okay. This one now has, with this new tractor, 2 smart torque pumps. So both pumps will sense the amount of horsepower that's been put through the hydraulic system and then return that back to the ground drive. So it's very important as far as air seeders are concerned, because it takes a lot of hydraulic flow in order to be able to run that air seeder, but then it also gives the extra horsepower back as far as the 5.5
Just being more efficient
speed.
with how we're using
Absolutely,
it. Okay.
Absolutely. It's all about efficiency and having the right power in order to be able to pull the implement.
Okay. All right, Bill. Well, hey, I appreciate you giving us an overview. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, one thing I usually don't get to do is take a walk through the tents. So before everybody gets here, we're going to walk through the tents. Best radios in the game.
I guess some kind of famous farmer or something.
So one of the things that was launched here was the new Fendt 1000 series, new generation. I think I know most of what changed on it, but we're gonna double check with somebody. Also, they've got the very first Fendt tractor that was ever sold in the United States at the show. Like, that is the first Fendt tractor, and I believe it came from Ohio, which is where we're from. So pretty cool.
Good drive. And
so I'm here at the Fendt booth, and I'm with Oscar Dreyer from Germany.
Yes.
Oscar is from Oktoberdorf, which is where the Fendt 1000s are made. And I believe this year at the show, where you guys just launched the Gen 4 1000 series, correct?
Yes. So yesterday we did something unique in our history for the first time. We didn't launch a tractor in Germany, but rather we did it here at the Farm Progress Show. And I gotta say, both machines look really good. Interested, really nice, and I'm delighted to tell you now a little bit more about the machine. So maybe you have some questions.
Well, so we have 2 Gen 3 1000 series,
nice.
And like from the outside looking in, they look identical almost. So I do have questions. Like, I guess what's the difference?
Yes. So we will use still the MAN D26 engine. So you also have in your Gen 3 tractors, but we have now upgraded internals and the new injectors, new engine ECU, and this allows us to have a maximum output now with dynamic performance, which I will talk about in a second, up to 550 horsepower.
550 now?
550 now,
okay.
Yes. We will have now 4 models. We will start now from the 1040, 1044, 1048, and then going up to the top model, which is behind me, the 1052. all the tractors will have dynamic performance, and this is our clever system which enables you to have more power if you need it for your auxiliary consumers. So when you're working in really hot conditions and the big fan in front needs more power, dynamic performance will automatically give more power so that you don't need to drive slower, but rather we have then additional power available. And as I said, in this case, up to 550 horsepower. Also, for the first time on a standard tractor, we will introduce a feature which we will call adaptive power. And this will enable you to actually change the output of the engine while driving. This means you have a menu in the engine and transmission menu, which there you can select basically your power level. So you can go from a 1052 to a 1044 or 1040 while driving.
So would the reason for that be, like, if this was going to do some heavy tillage in this fall and then you're going to plant with it and you don't need that power, you can save some fuel?
Exactly.
Is that correct? Okay.
This is the first reason, so you can actually save fuel when you don't need like all the horsepower, because if you go to an incline, of course, the bigger engine or the engine with basically can dump more fuel into the combustion chamber, although you don't maybe need it. And then the other reason, of course, sometimes there are implements which are not rated for 550 horsepower from the engine. So, for example, PTO-driven implements. There you can also prevent the tractor from breaking them by just simply reducing then the engine output. And as I said, you can do this while driving, no problem at all. And then, although the hood still looks the same, if you now take a look at the roof, this is probably the biggest change we have. So we have a new light system, 360-degree lighting concept, which will have from standard always LED working lights, which we will call vision, and those you can see here we will call ultra vision working lights. And each single working light has up to 4,400 lumen. In total, this tractor has now 120,000 lumen, which is roughly 55% more than the Gen 3.
Oh wow, so the Gen 3 package I thought was very bright.
Yes, and of course now it's in the day, you can't really get a comparison, but when you see those working lights at night, it is, excuse me my phrasing, but it's insane. And I would say, because no one's in the cab, we quickly jump in there, so I can show you also the menu. And Brian, you will find something that will delight you as well. If you take a look here, we now have foot packs, which I would say enables a quite comfortable sitting position. And also, if we have here the cooler, you can have here a third one, so it's still you can use the foot packs. So this is the lights menu, and I will now jump basically in the advanced lighting page. And you can see here that you can control now every single working light individually.
Okay.
And as I said, we have now the 5 stages. So for example, this would be then this working light above us. And here you can now adjust the brightness. Why do we do this? Well, either if you work in dusty conditions, it can help to reduce...
Be like run your dims when it's foggy.
Exactly. Exactly. You can see more. Or of course, if you're running the grain cart next to the combine, since we now can control all the single ones, so if the combine would be on the right hand side, I could only turn on all those lights and don't blind the combine operator. Okay. And then we have some neat stuff. So if you're driving next to a forage harvester, we can also mirror the working lights. So you can see with one press in the terminal, they will just flip around. As we have seen also in Europe, I'm sure it's the same in the US, sometimes the weather now gets a little bit more crazy and just we need to work more in the night. And this is then the reason why we upgraded here the lighting package. We did extensive tests with over 40 implements. So in the roof alone you have 12 working lights which are fixed in position, but we still allow individual adjustments by using the working lights on the A-pillar or on the tech rails. And for those, I would like to say we take a look now at the rear of the machine, so I can tell you a little bit more about them. Okay. Here on top, you can see now we have up to 6 working lights and the beacons, which I will talk about in a second. But there you can see on the C-pillar what we call tech rails. And here this can be ordered from the factory with 4 additional working lights. But also on those tech rails you can see the holders or the brackets. You can mount other stuff there as well. So for example, we are thinking about cameras or crop sensors, but maybe even somebody who's watching has another idea what they can mount there.
Oh, okay, I see really, now there's a modular,
Exactly, and it's really a clever solution because previous it was basically dead space, but now actually you have the option to mount there anything that helps you on your operation. Okay. Then, another pair of working lights. They also have different diffusing lenses. So as you can see here on the mud guards, it's really, I would say, fine. But then of course there on the top ones, they're really like, which we call long range working lights. So we have really, it will enable you to illuminate all of the implements. Doesn't matter how wide they are, how long they are. You can make sure that you can see everything that you need to see.
Okay.
What's also neat are here those working lights. We call them ground vision. They're now integrated in the fender, and they are designed to illuminate specifically the area either when you're hooking up to an implement or when you're working with something like a pickup, so a large square baler or power harrow, which of course is more common in Europe, but maybe also some applications in the US where you can then need to use those lights.
Okay.
Otherwise, in the rear, the dimensions are still the same. We still have the same lifting capacity as the older model, so the Gen 3. However, we added a new 12-volt socket, which you can see next to the ABS socket, so the black one, next to that, the small one. So there you have another 12-volt outlet, which you also can control over the light page.
Okay.
So if you want, for example, have some lights on your trailers or your cultivator, you could then activate this also over the light page.
Okay.
Looking at the wheel weights, we will offer a new wheel weight with 1,300 kilograms. I'm sorry, I can't do right now the math in pounds, but it's 50 kgs more than the older one. And it has openings for your forklift, so you can drive in there and mount it really safely and really easily.
Okay.
So again, we have just a little bit more weight on the tractor. And that is, in short, of course, the summary of the new machine. We also have now a tinted rear window, just a little bit, which you can see when you're sitting in the cab, which also helps a little bit if you work in the sun, of course. You don't have as much heat entry in the cab. And of course, it's a little bit easy on the eyes if you don't wear the sunglasses.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Oscar, I appreciate the tour of the new tractor.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for visiting.
This is what we sell people to reduce their tax.
Yeah.
But if we can get Liberty.
We're going to stop in at the Unverferth booth and see what we can see. Grain cart the size of ours, but they've also got a very big grain cart in here we're going to check out. It's 3,100 bushels. So I ran into Andy Unverferth, and Andy, do you mind telling me a little bit about this ProForce? From what I understand, it has section control, which as a guy that spreads a lot of fertilizer, it's pretty exciting to me.
Yeah, fertilizer savings is a big deal nowadays.
Well, it is super cheap and whatnot.
Yeah, that's right. So that's one of the big things we've been researching since we purchased the ProForce spreader lineup, is we wanted to come up with an effective and precise section control, but we also didn't want it to be too complicated or too expensive. So this has been in development for a number of years, and we're debuting it at the 2025 Farm Progress Show. It's our Air Command section control. And this gives the operator force section control and uses air to redirect fertilizer from one section to the other sections, so they can operate each section independently. So you can turn off section 1 and 3 or 2 and 4 or go from outside in. You have that flexibility when you're applying. And the nice part about it is, with the air system that we're using, it's simple, so we're not having to move components on the spinner table. We don't have to have an extra conveyor inside the hopper. So it's a more economical option for going with a section control on a dry spreader.
Okay, gotcha. One question I would have, if a guy's wanting to do like a heavier product like lime or anything like that, is this capable of that, or do you have to take that off to do that?
You would have to take off part of the components to do lime, so it's only compatible with fertilizer, cover crop seed, not compatible with the lime.
Gotcha. I was going to say, if you're able to blow lime with a fan, that would be pretty impressive.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly.
Okay.
Quite a bit heavier.
Yeah. As far as the rest of the machine, the same chassis, same main spreader, just the back of it is where the magic's happening.
So in addition to the Air Command on the ProForce for 2026, we came out with 2 new pull type models. So we have a 1050 and a 1250, 10 ton and 12 ton capacity, just to get a smaller offering in the lineup.
Okay.
And then models 1850 and larger now come standard with a PTO drive for the hydraulic system. So a lot more tractors can handle that type of system with the hydraulic flow that's required, especially if you go with the section control.
So are you just splitting the flow with that PTO, or is it all the hydraulic coming from the PTO then?
All the hydraulics are coming from the PTO, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that really does open it up then.
Yeah, it does.
All right, Andy. Well, I appreciate you showing us around.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yep. So we've had Claas combines before in the past, and I still think they are extremely great combines. So one of the things I like to do is walk to their booth, see if anything's changed, see their latest and greatest. So our Claas dealer recently quit handling ag equipment and have a different dealer now, and they sell Claas tractors. I don't really know a lot about those, but I do know that combine right there will flat out eat corn. Better than anything I've ever driven.
As good as you see, guys. Not quite. Hopefully keeps his wallet in his pocket this time.
Well, that's it for day 2 of the show. Now it's time to have some fun. Well, we're on the final day of Farm Progress. We're not going to be here super long, but we're going to check out a few things that we've missed, and then we are heading back to Ohio. Main thing I've missed, I believe, has been the pie booth that you guys have ate at.
It's not very good this year, Brian. I don't know if you really want that.
Okay.
Ice cream is real good though.
Ice cream.
That's all we got.
He's just like completely destroying my lawn.
Yeah.
I bet I could tear the all that bit of carbon fiber. Nobody try that. I bet I could do it.
Well, you want to look at the Hagie? Let's swing into the Deere booth for a little bit. Check out the See and Spray. Is this where they have the brown on green and the green on brown, or the green on green? So if you're not familiar with what See and Spray is, basically anywhere the sprayer sees a weed, it sprays the weed instead of blanketly applying your herbicide. Some herbicides are contact killers, so if there's nothing there for them to be sprayed on, it doesn't matter. Now, some herbicides have a residual effect. When you spray them, they will kill things for a few weeks. So I can see where this could be good on the contact side. But is it good enough to make up the price?
12% savings, 12% savings, that's 24%. 22%, that's 48%. Plus a 59% chemical savings. I mean, they're paying you to run the sprayer.
I see what you did there. That's good. We're getting paid 9%.
John Deere, if you need a marketing guy, let me know.
We're going to get a cease and desist now.
Hard enough.
Yeah. Induct it. Well?
Did you buy it?
Did you buy a Powerball ticket last night?
No, nobody hit it.
Nobody hit it.
Nobody's gonna be a million.
So I'm here with Ken Baker from Hagie, and Ken, do you mind telling us a little bit about the Hagie sprayers as far as what model offerings you guys have?
For model year 26, Hagie offers 2 different frame sizes. The STS-12 comes in the short frame, and then in the large frame machines we have the STS-16 and the STS-20. So it's a 1,200 gallon, a 1,600 gallon, and a 2,000 gallon machine that are offered. We come in 90, 100, 120 foot, and 132 foot booms. And we offer regular section control, exact apply, and See and Spray Premium on the STS 16 and 20s.
Okay. What engine powertrain system are you guys using?
All three models are powered by the 9-liter Deere, with the STS 12 having 300 horsepower, and then the STS 16 and 20 both have 400 horsepower.
Okay. And same hydrostat transmission as they've been using?
Yep.
I noticed when I got up in the cab, it looked like a similar cab to the John Deere Combine, maybe?
Yep. Yeah, that's all part of the integration. So people that are running Deere equipment, they can get in our cab and hit the ground running. You know, it shortens your learning curve quite a bit. It uses an X9 shell, and then the console is out of an R-Series sprayer. So, like I said, you can go from one piece of machinery to the next and feel like you're right at home.
Gotcha. And you had mentioned that See and Spray is an option on these sprayers?
Yep.
Okay.
For 26, that it was on 25 model year. It was on just on the STS 16. For 26, we expanded that also to the STS 20.
Okay, gotcha. Are the carbon fiber booms, is that an option on the Hagie line, or are they just, all equipped with this same boom here?
All the Hagie machines come with what we call a hybrid boom.
Okay.
And what that means is out to the 60-foot fold, it's steel, and then it's aluminum after that.
Okay. All right. Well, Ken, I appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you.
So we might as well check out a green sprayer while we're here. We got a price on one of these recently, but really have no experience in the green sprayers. Dad had a 4700 in the early 2000s. And that was the last Deere sprayer we had. Here's how you turn on the butt rubber. Yeah, okay. That does look nice. Hey, great visibility out the back.
Yes, yes.
I will say I think I like the cabs better on the Deere sprayer and the Hagie sprayer than any other sprayers we've looked at. So this sprayer has See and Spray and has 2 tanks, so that way you are able to put your residual and your See and Spray tank mix. Pretty neat stuff. Have 1,600 gallons combined when you're using them, and you have the ability to just use both of them for the same product and have 1,600 gallons, but pretty neat. Well, before we head out of the Deere booth, we got about check out this 8400 they've got over here. Right behind this 445, 55. There we go. Looks slightly cleaner than our 8400. Just slightly. They must have had an issue.
We haven't fired the marketing guy.
Taking a couple trips through the aisles and seen something called a grain Weevil. Looks kind of intriguing. Looks like a Roomba for a grain bin.
Just by pushing more grain to the center, so equalizing the grain.
So I'm here with Ben Johnson from Grain Weevil. Is that the name of the company?
Yeah.
Okay. Ben, do you mind telling us what is a grain Weevil and what's its intended purpose?
So this is the Grain Weevil robot. This is a grain bin safety and management robot designed to do all the work inside of a grain facility remotely, safely outside the bin. So this robot's able to level grain bins for optimal storage. That's the single best thing you can do to keep the quality of your grain high for longer. And then once it's level, we can work that grain throughout the storage season, break up that top layer. If you do have moisture or crust, this robot can tear through anything and break it up and mix it in, help you get air through there and keep that quality high. And then once we're working towards getting grain out of the bin, the robot can help feed the sump as you go, so that by the time you got to turn the sweep on, you don't have to get in there and kick the sweep through the bin. You can do it all remotely outside the bin, run that grain down to the sump, then turn the sweep on. So it's all about doing the work remotely for now. We're working on autonomy for the robot as well. So right now we're able to level a bin. You still got to keep eyes on it as it's running. But right now, typically what people will do is they'll bring the robot system up to the bin. All that you have to have permanent is a winching system to get it in and out safely.
And that's what we have on display right here.
This winch here. This swings the robot into the hatch door, drops it in, and lets it go. And so everything else you can move from bin to bin.
Okay.
We have this camera system that mounts right up inside the hatch door. It's a good bird's eye view to watch the robot, drive the robot, reset it, those sort of things. And so you can do all that down beside the bin in the cab of the truck, air conditioning on. A lot safer, a lot faster than a man with a shovel. So.
Okay. So like right now, someone's running this remotely with basically a remote controller.
Exactly, a remote control. Very simple to drive, kind of like a skid steer or a lawnmower even. It takes no time at all to get you trained up.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the information. It's a very interesting concept and definitely stopped us in our tracks when we seen it.
Yeah, so this package is available now. We're selling these in the Midwest through our Bin Assist network, we call them.
Okay.
They're service providers that if you have a bad bin that needs help and you don't want to send somebody in there, they can come out and use their robots to help you with your bin. But they're also the ones that will complete the final sale, help you figure out what you need, help you with maintenance and training and everything. Through the future. They're great guys, boots on the ground.
So if anyone's interested in that, can they just Google Grain Weevil?
Yeah, if you go to our website and you punch in your address, you can see who's nearest to you. And those Bin Assist guys are they're great at answering more specific questions about your farm and how you can use the robot and what that'll take.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Let BJ drive, and we end up at the ice cream booth. It's 10 o'clock. Can't believe you're eating pie and ice cream this early in the morning. Hey everyone, thanks for watching this video, and thanks to everyone that came up to us at the meet and greet and said hi. We had a great time at the Farm Progress Show, and we hope to see you again at the next one.